World War II, the hidden operations that changed the outcome of the war. World War II, a global conflict that spanned 6 years, engulfed over 60 nations, and reshaped the modern world. But behind the tanks, the trenches, and the towering figures of Churchill, Roosevelt, and Hitler, there was another war. A war fought in the shadows. These were the hidden operations, missions so secret that even many soldiers fighting on the front lines had no idea they existed. Operations that altered the course of history, saved millions, and ensured victory in ways that would remain classified for decades. Today, we uncover the untold stories of the covert missions that changed the outcome of World War II. Operation Mincemeat, the corpse that fooled Hitler. It was 1943. The Allies were planning to invade southern Europe, but Hitler's armies had fortified the coasts of Greece and Sardinia. A direct attack would mean massive losses. The Allies needed a way to trick Hitler, to make him believe the invasion would come from somewhere else. Enter Operation Mincemeat. British intelligence officers Ewan Montagu and Charles Cholmondeley came up with a plan that seemed straight out of a spy novel. They would use a dead body, dress it as a British officer, and plant on it fake top-secret documents suggesting an Allied invasion of Greece. The body would then be dropped off the coast of Spain, where German agents were known to operate. The corpse, actually a homeless man who had died of pneumonia, was transformed into Major William Martin. Fake love letters, photographs, and official letters were planted in his pockets. Every detail had to be perfect. When the body washed ashore in Spain, the Germans took the bait. Within days, Nazi intelligence relayed the false information straight to Hitler. Hitler diverted precious divisions to Greece and the Balkans. When the Allies launched Operation Husky, the real invasion of Sicily, German defenses were unprepared. It was one of the most successful deception operations in history, and it all began with a single dead man and a handful of forged papers. Operation Fortitude, the Ghost Army. Fast forward to 1944. The Allies are preparing for D-Day, the largest amphibious invasion ever attempted. But Normandy was heavily guarded. If Hitler could predict where the Allies would land, the invasion could fail before it could even begin. So the Allies launched Operation Fortitude, the grand deception that would mislead the Nazis about the true invasion point. Operation Fortitude was divided into 2 parts, Fortitude North and Fortitude South. Fortitude North convinced the Germans that the Allies would attack Norway. Fortitude South made them believe the main invasion would come through Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. To sell the lie, the Allies created an entire fake army, the first U.S. Army Group, supposedly led by General George S. Patton, a man Hitler deeply feared. They built inflatable tanks, wooden planes, and dummy landing craft along the English coast. Fake radio transmissions buzzed with chatter between divisions that didn't exist. Double agents fed this information directly to German intelligence, and it worked perfectly. Even after D-Day began on June 6th, Hitler was so convinced that Normandy was a diversion that he refused to send reinforcements, waiting for the real invasion that never came. Operation Fortitude saved thousands of Allied lives and ensured the success of D-Day. A ghost army won the war before a single soldier landed in France. The Enigma Code, breaking the unbreakable. While armies clashed across Europe, another battle raged in secret, the Battle of the Codebreakers. The Nazis believed their Enigma machine made their communications unbreakable. Each day, its complex system of rotors and plug boards generated billions of possible combinations. German U-boats used Enigma to coordinate attacks that nearly strangled Britain's supply lines. But inside a quiet English estate called Bletchley Park, a group of mathematicians and linguists worked around the clock to break it. At the center of it all was Alan Turing, a brilliant mathematician who built a machine called the Bombay, designed to crack Enigma faster than any human could. After months of relentless effort, the team succeeded. They could now read German messages in real time, revealing U-boat locations, invasion plans, and movements of entire divisions. Historians estimate that the codebreakers at Bletchley Park shortened the war by at least 2 years and saved over 14 million lives. Yet their work remained secret until decades later. While soldiers fought with bullets and bombs, these men and women fought with logic, mathematics, and silence.
Operation Gunnerside, the sabotage that stopped Hitler's bomb. By 1942, the Allies feared one thing above all, that Nazi Germany was building an atomic bomb. And they were close. Deep in the mountains of Norway, at a place called Vemork, the Germans were producing heavy water, a key ingredient for nuclear fission. If Hitler's scientists succeeded, they could unleash a weapon of unimaginable power. So the British launched a daring mission, Operation Gunnerside. 6 Norwegian commandos parachuted into the icy wilderness, surviving on frozen moss and rationed chocolate. They skied through blizzards, crossed deep ravines, and infiltrated the Vemork plant. In the dead of night, they planted explosives and escaped undetected. The resulting explosion destroyed the facility's production and set the Nazi nuclear program back permanently. Even the Americans later admitted, without Gunnerside, the race for the atomic bomb could have ended very differently. A small team of men on skis may have prevented a Nazi nuclear world. Operation Paperclip, the secret aftermath. As the war neared the end in 1945, another secret operation was already underway, not on the battlefield, but in the offices of American intelligence. It was called Operation Paperclip. The U.S. realized that Germany's scientists had made enormous advances in rocketry, jet engines, and weapons technology. Among them was Wernher von Braun, the mastermind behind the V-2 rocket that had terrorized London. The Americans feared that these scientists fell into Soviet hands. The balance of power after the war would shift. So they acted fast, smuggling more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians into the United States. Their records were cleaned, their Nazi affiliations hidden. Von Braun and his team would later work for NASA, helping launch the Saturn V rocket, the very same that carried humans to the moon. Operation Paperclip was controversial, but it shaped the technological race of the Cold War and ushered in the space age. The partisans and resistance networks. Not all secret operations came from the great powers. Across Europe, resistance fighters, ordinary men and women, carried out sabotage missions that crippled Nazi logistics. In occupied France, the Maquis blew up rail lines, derailed trains, and provided intelligence for the D-Day landings. In Poland, underground operatives ran secret newspapers and assassinated high-ranking Nazi officers. And in Yugoslavia, Tito's partisans tied down hundreds of thousands of German troops, keeping them from reinforcing the Eastern Front. Their bravery cost many their lives, but their sacrifices ensured the Allied advance could continue. It's easy to forget these nameless heroes, but without them, victory would have taken far longer, if it came at all. Operation Bodyguard, the master plan. Many of these deceptions weren't isolated. They were part of a master strategy known as Operation Bodyguard. The goal? To mislead the Germans about when and where the Allies would strike in 1944. Operation Bodyguard coordinated Fortitude, Mincemeat, and other diversions into one global web of deception. From fake radio transmissions in Britain to false troop buildups in Egypt. Even Stalin's Soviet forces played along, spreading disinformation through captured spies. It was the largest deception campaign in history, and it worked flawlessly. By the time the Allies landed in Normandy, Hitler's forces were chasing ghosts across Europe.
World War II was not just a battle of soldiers and weapons, it was a battle of minds. From the code breakers of Bletchley Park to the commandos of Gunnerside. From the forgers behind Operation Mincemeat to the invisible armies of Fortitude. Each operation was a piece of a vast puzzle, a web of secrets, sacrifices, and silent victories. These missions changed the outcome of the war, saved millions of lives, and shaped the modern world. But their stories remind us of something deeper. That even in the darkest times, courage, intelligence, and imagination can rewrite history. History isn't just about what happened, it's about why it happened, and how it still shapes who we are today. If you enjoyed this journey through the hidden stories of World War II, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of our shared path.